Welcome, everybody. You're here at Perfect Sound in the lovely Hollywood Hills, and we're thrilled to have you. We're set up, it was designed to pretty much cover it all. Working within the square footage that we had, I think we designed about the biggest live room we could, and we have done 5 or 6, 7-piece bands live. Certainly anything in the rock or pop area is covered. The control room covers anything in hip-hop and R&B. And can't really think of too many forms of music that wouldn't be appropriate for the place. We want to see, wide range happen here. We want to see it all. We have the home, the 4-bedroom, 3-bath, mid-century house here. So the residential aspect is part of the studio as well, and allows not only people to come in from all over the world, but we've already had bands that live here who just want to not go home and see the bills every day or whatever, and just stay up here and be with the music. And that's worked out incredibly well. When Jake and I first met and talked about building a studio, when we finished talking, we said, this just sounds perfect, and that's where the name came from. And if you're going to call the studio perfect, it better have something pretty special.
And I think the biggest reason we got the AWS 900 Plus was because we was the best option in that market. There really wasn't anything that compares. You got the other manufacturers and everything like that, but what we needed, this was the best option for us. Central system of the studio, cover all our bases. Like before, we had multiple items doing multiple jobs, and it was kind of a Frankenstein of such. But this was everything is in one package, neat and tidy for Pro Tools and analog side of things, and your talkback and your mixing and everything. So it just felt to be the best option for us compared to what else is out there. So
that's it. Because it took over, all this other stuff that we had. We were able to sell and get rid of and sort of streamline, and it's just it's an all-in-one package. To me, that's the best part about it. It's it's got the SSL sound, which is undeniable, and people need that. And in combination with everything else we've got, it's just given us the perfect package here.
It makes people feel comfortable too, with regards to if you're newer producers are used to the digital domain and are used to bigger board for older producers or bigger boards or anything like that. They can walk in here, a younger producer or engineer feels more comfortable here. Older producer, same thing, they feel comfortable with SSL, the name, but also just the workflow is not dissimilar from a large format down to the smaller format. So in that regards, the big thing for us is people feel at home here. So that I haven't had a problem with at all. People walk right in, and like I said, first time we had the board, we did a session that night. After installing the board, we did vocals on it, be it not fully rigged up correctly, but we were able to do a session the first night.
I think it's given us another option, because before mostly all the stuff we had was vintage stuff, and it had a lot of color to it, and it was sounds great, but it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Having the SSL sound has given us that nice kind of cleaner, the famous SSL sound to offer people, and it works so well, like I said before, in combination with everything else that we've got here. So I think that's pretty much what it's done.
Well, they walk in and they see SSL and they see the 1971 Neve and they go, okay, I get it. It's just so glaringly obvious that what we're saying is best of today, best of before. You use one, neither, both, whatever you like, but we want to make everything, we want to make all range of sounds available to you.
I'd say the aspects of the console that made life easier for us here at the studio is definitely, the workflow. It's much easier to come in and, whether you're mixing, you're tracking, or you're doing both at the same time, which is very much the workflow these days for most people because of budgets and stuff. They'll be mixing as they're going along, and when you can flip between the Pro Tools world or digital world and analog world and have all the best of both worlds, it's just a workflow. It's just easier. It's really simplified, and it makes people, again, the work for me, it's people feeling comfortable when they're using what they're using, and the SSL is hands down doesn't have any problem with that. They, once I explain them how it works, they're good to go. So it's not a big learning curve for them either. So definitely improves the workflow, and always works. That's the other thing too. I don't have to worry about it breaking. So
you get that feeling sometimes when you're at a project or in a space, especially in design, where everything's kind of right and it's feels pretty good, but you just know something is missing and it's not finished. That's how I feel about this. This has finished the room to me. This is a studio now. Before it was a studio, and we had all the the right pieces of gear, but this is like the pièce de résistance as far as I'm concerned of the studio. I mean, you know, we got some other of those types of things, but this just made it all work, and it's just made me very happy to be able to have a studio that's as streamlined and as modern and professional as it is because of, you know, this and the other things that we've got connected to it.
I always measure it by how much I have to say when I give a tour of a studio, and I haven't had to say much here, this being the third studio I've been involved with in my life. But I think when the SSL came in, I finally hit silence. I have nothing to say. If I bring people in, I just go, this is the control room, which is glaringly obvious. And what is there? I mean, they could ask me, you know, a model number or something, but I mean, and I know that the less I'm saying, the less I have to say, which means the more perfect everything is that's in there. So I'm just, as my tours get quieter and quieter, I think the SSL was the final norm. You can just stroll. Swagger.
Yeah.
Shut up and let 'em look.
Stroll and swagger.
It ties the room together, you could say. Yeah.